It's all over the board. I mean, there's still labels doing the traditional, straight. We're in the music business. We're going to take music rights, and everything else is yours. There's no question that's still the predominant way. There's a few labels that have started up that are started by artists, actually. Clint Black started one, Toby Keith, and they're trying to be much more artist friendly. And what does that mean? That means, to the extreme, it means that you keep ownership of your masters. You just license them. You get a much higher royalty rate. It's much more transparent in terms of knowing exactly what you're making per record. There's a few labels that have done that. That predominantly just independents. None of the majors have really gone that direction. What the majors have done, they've arguably made them less transparent, or more transparent, I should say, in the sense that they've eliminated some of the packaging things that were kind of really confusing to artists, because they would give you with one hand and they take it away somewhere else. So they've kind of cleaned up a lot of that. That's the good news. The bad news is you're still getting the same amount of royalties per record sold. It's just that you now know it's cleaner what you're getting. It's not like they gave you a better deal. It's more straightforward. In addition, they've started to take more rights. From one extreme, it's maybe they just want to get into merchandising on the internet. They control your website. That's one of the things they've been doing in terms of making sure they run it and that have control over what goes on it with approval rights from the artist, but they're still mainly in control. But they're now trying to be able to market certain products, for example, T-shirts and things, on the internet through their site of the artist. That's an area the artist always controlled, the merchandising. So now they're just kind of dipping into that area. They're getting more into things like voice tones, like this new technology with the phones allows you to, obviously sell records on through your cell phone. But one of the other things that's supposedly very popular is voice tones. Things like, well, hey, this is so-and-so, Well, that's not a record. It's not music. Yet they're trying to say we control the voice tones, even though it's under your record deal. So that's what some of the majors are doing as well. In fact, most of the majors are doing that. Then the other extreme is where they want to get in business with you across the board in all areas of your business. Robbie Williams was the first to have kind of pioneered that. He's a huge star over in Europe, not so much here. And there are lots of reasons that happened. It wasn't necessarily because it was this new way to do business. It had a lot of tax implications for Robbie Williams and so on. But the labels here and some of the majors are starting to say, you know what, we can't just survive on the record sales anymore. Those have gone down. We're getting into digital technology, and sure, we're selling digital downloads, but it's still not making up for what we're losing on the record company side or the record sales side. So we need to expand into more areas with the artists. So a couple labels have started to take a piece of the general merchandising, touring, or from touring income, or from a few extreme examples, a piece of the publishing. These are areas that the labels rarely ever took, although way in the old days they did take publishing, but they were actually doing something. Here they just want a piece of it, because they just want to increase their ability to participate in more areas of your career under the theory that, hey, we break you as a recording artist, that results in you having a big touring career, we should share in that too. And now they're actually starting. They've always talked about. I shouldn't say they've always talked about, but they've always complained about that. Now they're actually starting to take pieces of that. And the newer artists are having a very difficult problem, saying no to that, because it's either that or no deal. The farthest extreme I've seen, which is a deal I just did, actually with Universal Records, it wasn't a national deal. It was, even though it came out of here, it was really a pop artist type hip hop thing, and where we actually are in total business with the label. We share everything, almost 50-50 across the board, whether it's touring, TV, film, videos. We get a certain amount of money every year, to cover all that. But they're in our entire business. We're almost like, we're in the joint artist business with them. And that's the most extreme example I've ever seen of that.